Russell Westbrook Jr. III had an incredible night last night. When you go 20-20, and it's not points and assists or points and rebounds, it's rebounds and assists. Here's the full list of players with at least 20 rebounds and 20 assists in a game in NBA history. Wilt Chamberlain did it once. Russell Westbrook Jr. III has done it twice. That's it.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day.
Scotty Brooks, who is Russell Westbrook's coach with the Wizards, had this to say about Russell Westbrook.
Point guards don't do what he does. They're not built that way. There might be some that can probably shoot better. There might be some that probably can do certain things better, but there's nobody in the history of the game that can do what he does throughout the stat sheet. I used to always say he's going to probably go down as the third best point guard ever, but I think he's past one, and he's going to go down as probably the second best. And one is obviously Magic. What he does, there's no point guard has ever done it.
Okay. He thinks that when it's all said and done, Russell Westbrook will be the second greatest point guard of all time. And I understand it. I mean, that's his coach. If a coach from another team said, yep, Russell Westbrook's the second greatest point guard of all time. Now, if we're talking about modern era, because that's where it gets tricky. But let's say we start in 1980. All right, Magic, greatest point guard of all time. John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, Jason Kidd, Steph Curry. You used to have just guards. Guys just were guards. Earl Monroe and Walt Frazier famously played together, and nobody was a 1 or a 2. Jerry West, Gail Goodrich. Nobody was a 1 or a 2. You were just the backcourt. And then you had forwards. And then we got you're a 3 and you're a 4 and you're a 2 and you're a 1. And that's where it gets a little tricky as well. What kind of point guard do you want leading your team? Do I want a ball-dominant guy who's going to put up incredible numbers? Do I want John Stockton, a true point guard? Do I want Steve Nash? Do I want a pass-first guy? And, that's a dying breed there. Jason Kidd was probably capable of doing 20-20. Like, he was an unbelievably talented player and then became a far better shooter. Isaiah played on a balanced team. You get no argument from me with Magic, greatest point guard of all time, because I know when my point guard comes out, he's 6'9", I automatically have a huge advantage over you. Stockton was a wonderful guard who understood the game, offensively and defensively. I think all-time assists and all-time steals, Stockton. Didn't put up offensive numbers, wasn't asked to put up offensive numbers. Jason Kidd was a wonderful player. Steve Nash was a wonderful player. Steph Curry. Am I taking Steph Curry over Russell Westbrook? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Quick answer, yeah. Do I think Russell Westbrook, and I've said it on many occasions on this show, when he was at his peak, I would have paid to see him. I think that's the best compliment you can give somebody. You would actually pay. When he went 32-11-11, and he was fascinating. So much energy, and he still has that energy. If he won a title in 2016, we would have a different opinion of Russell Westbrook. We would. You're up 3-1 to the Warriors, and that series changed NBA history. Because after that, Kevin Durant left. If they win that title, they're probably still there in Oklahoma City. But, Russ is not a good shooter. He's a scorer, not a good shooter. Yeah, McLeod.
Isn't that a huge deal? He's a terrible shooter. I've had them pull the stats. He's 120th in the league in effective field goal percentage.
But he's a great rebounder, and now he's ball dominant. I get that.
But he kind of takes the other players out of the game sometimes.
A little bit.
Whereas all those other guys you mentioned, Isaiah, Steve Nash, Magic, they put their offense to the side to help the team.
Yeah. Well, it's Scotty Brooks' opinion, and he's coaching him every night, and he should back his guy. I'm fine with that.